Welcome to the HMG Executive Leadership Spotlight, where we showcase the best global business technology executives inspiring trust and winning in a global digital economy. And now here's our host, Hunter Muller.
Hello and welcome to the HMG Spotlight. I'm Hunter Muller, founder and CEO of HMG Strategy. I'm here with my good friend Anil Cheriyan. Anil is a former CIO of SunTrust Bank as well as Cognizant. Anil, great to have you on the program.
Great. Happy to be here, Hunter. We got lots to talk about. It'll be good fun.
Hey, exciting times, perhaps the most exciting times ever to be a business technology leader, a CIO, CTO, or CISO. So what is so important about right now that the CIO needs to seize the moment and be that leader in the C-suite?
Fundamentally, the topic is, are CIOs going to become obsolete? And we can delve into that a little bit more, but I think the pace of change of technology has been so much over the last few years. Now, I think with Gen AI is going to change so much of everything, not only of the business, but also of the world of the CIO itself. And I'll dig into a little bit of that. But if your CIO doesn't manage or drive or lead that, they're going to be obsolete. They're going to be gonzo. And the businesses are not going to waste time waiting for them to catch up.
So, Anil, is it fair to say the CIO needs to be driving the innovation agenda as well as the invention agenda of the future business models, go-to-markets, and customers?
Yeah, I mean, just think about what Gen AI is doing. This is about getting transformation going on in a major, on steroids, as it were. You know, you've got now this mechanism that allows you to drive insights into processes, you know, really good insights into processes. You got now mechanisms where the UI is now going to be multimodal. It's going to be, you know, speech and voice and text and data and images. I mean, all of that multimodal interaction. Cloud service providers all moving up the stack really fast. You know, they should be infrastructure as service providers. Now they're providing whole platforms for companies to buy. So CIOs are like, why do I need a CIO anymore? I can go buy that stuff from Amazon or Salesforce or Microsoft and so on. So I think CIOs, you know, people need to really jump up and lead the way, or else, you know, the CEOs and the other lines of business leaders are going to go buy stuff from elsewhere.
So this is making the 90s and the 2000 idea of outsourcing and making it looking very small. This is the huge upside opportunity for the CEO and the CIO.
Looking at an old Harvard Business Review article of the year 2000. And guess what the title of that article was? It was, "Are CIOs going to be obsolete?" Well, you know, so they asked the question, and a lot of my old CIO friends at that time were answering it about how CIOs needed to change. Well, this time it's really on steroids. This time it is really going to mean a lot for CIOs to change. And if you think about what a CIO does from a hierarchy standpoint, baseline, you know, get the operations right, manage the legacy, manage the data. That's kind of like table stakes. You got to be able to do that. And most CIOs by now should be able to figure out how to do that. But then there's layers of hierarchy on top that you got to be good at: investment prioritization, managing risk, managing change. And then at the top of it all, really driving the strategy and transformation, kind of helping reinvent the company, helping really drive that. That's what CIOs need to be doing, because they're the ones who know where technology is going. They're the ones who have all that background, and technology is going to change everything in the organization. And the CIOs need to be not just at that bottom layer, they need to be across all of those four layers on top.
So, Anil, you define kind of the baseline where CIOs are now and the ideal state where they need to be. How do they get there? How can they learn to be better?
That's going to be the hard part. I think a lot of CIOs are just not going to make it. You know, just like in 20 years ago, there were a lot of CIOs who couldn't, you know, go past the mainframe stage, and they didn't understand client server. A lot of CIOs who are, you know, used to their way of working are basically catching up with the basics that they just haven't launched into the other areas. They need to be real strategy-focused drivers of the business. They need to be the right hand of the CEO to say, here's where we need to be going. This is how we need to be going. These are the strategies. These are the technologies we need to be using. Here's how we need to bring it all together. Here's how we prioritize it. Here's how we manage the change. That's a different level of CIO. It's the one that's really strategy oriented and really understands the business.
So what's next? Where should they be spending their time, and how should they be learning about that future state CIO?
I think there's so many opportunities for CIOs to be out there, understand the industry they're in, go talk to customers, go work with their board, really understand what the board is looking for, talk to investors. How many CIOs are presenting at investor conferences? How many investors are now demanding to talk to the CIOs as well? So I think there's lots of opportunities for CIOs to up their game by now participating at that level. And they need to be helping each of their line of business leaders and facilitating, leading, and driving the change. Not that the CIO needs to own everything. The CIO needs to be the coordinator and the leader and the bringer together of all of this, because they are, by definition, the people who understand information, the people who understand technology, the people who understand analytics, the people who understand where the world is going.
So, Anil, we've had a great relationship going over 15 years now when we met down in Atlanta when you were at SunTrust. And I appreciate your being engaged as an executive in residence at HMG Strategy. People can come to about 60 different events in the next 12 months, in person, hundreds of online experiences. And your contribution is so appreciated and valued. We had a great Atlanta summit. I hope you'll be at the New York summit in December. Thoughts on the HMG model and why you invest your time with HMG Strategy?
No, it's a great group, and you do a great job of pulling together a lot of good leaders. Some of my friends in New York are part of the HMG New York group. The people in Atlanta who I've known for many years are part of that. I think it's a great opportunity for people to really get to meet each other, network, and learn from each other. And I've always enjoyed those sessions. So I'm looking forward to New York.
We've been talking about studying being a global visionary leader because we truly do live in a global world now. And being that kind of person, you really need to be like the full brain, both left and right, both visionary leader and risk adverse, kind of like the ultimate player on the field. Talk to us about that.
Visionary is one of the key words in terms of being strategic and being thoughtful about where the world is going, et cetera, et cetera. But the other key word that you're using is leader. Being a leader, meaning leading from the front, leading with the vision, leading with the thought process, leading with the organization of their peers, their CEO and the rest of the executive team. Leadership is really the key piece, and leadership is really difficult in a world where if you're coming from behind, and if all you're being viewed upon as being the person who's managing the laptops and managing the infrastructure, you can't lead that way, right? You've got to lead from the front. And so to have the brand, to have the reputation, to have the recognition that you are that kind of leader, that's what's important. So leadership is the two words that you just used, which are really, and global is another one, but the two words that you use, visionary, really strategic, and leadership, are really important words. I think the second piece is often misunderstood and not taken up.
Well, thanks. And let's do one build on that. You really need high energy and to be passionate, to love the business, the company that you're working with, the organization you're with, and have high energy. And the only way you can do that truly is to take care of your body, your mind, your spirit, the complete profile, so you come in with your A game 12 hours a day, right?
I'm really passionate about what is the role of the CIO and how is it going to change. For CIOs, they need to be really passionate about the businesses that they're in. So if they're working for a bank, they got to like being a member of a bank. They got to like what the bank is doing. They got to have that sense of, I really want to make this a better place. So have that passion. If you're working for a hospital, it's sometimes easy. You're there to save lives, and you're there to really do something good for people. So sometimes sometimes getting that passion is really important, and really getting to believe in that passion. That's what you come in every day and be energized about, right? You've got to feel it. You got to feel it deep in you. And personal health is really critical, because if you don't have that, then everything starts, circling down.
Great insights, great interview. Truly appreciate you, Anil. I love everything you're about, what you're doing, and love having you involved with HMG Strategy as executive in residence. Looking forward to seeing you in New York and many other summits in 2025. Again, thank you. And you are an HMG legendary leader.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
We hope you found this episode of HMG's Executive Leadership Spotlight beneficial. The HMG Global Network, a network of 400,000 technology leaders and a media platform that delivers more than 1 million impressions per week, is a valuable source of insight, continuous learning, and peer-to-peer research based on the insights and experiences of world-class, top-tier technology executives. Leverage the HMG network. Go to hmgstrategy.com to find out more.